Los latinos en América. Estamos transmitiendo desde hermosa 1470 AM, 96.9 FM. Les habla Lilia Galindo, me acompaña Michael. How are you? Good morning.
Bueno.
Bueno, qué bueno que estás así.
You know, I was just thinking about something we had touched on a little bit previously, and that was this whole situation in Ukraine. And it's like um, people did not remember the history. It's just amazing to me. You know, we study in Western civilization, you know, Genghis Khan and Attila the Hun and the people that marched across Europe and was conquering left and right. Who turned them back? It was the warriors in the Ural and the Caucasus Mountains who later became known as the Cossacks. Cossacks were ferocious military fighters. And those Cossacks and those ferocious military fighters was actually the strength of the Russian army when it was the USSR. Well, when USSR broke up and a lot of different regions came into their own, one of those regions being Ukraine, separated themselves, and Ukrainians were working on a democratic society. Well, guess where the Cossacks come from? Guess where the substance and the foundation or the strength of the Russian army was?
Ukraine?
In Ukraine. And then Putin decides that back in 2014, he's going to take some of that territory and he'll work his way into getting all of Ukraine back, because when Russia first started, Catherine the Great, her capital was in Kiev, which is the capital of Ukraine. So he's trying to reverse history. It's kind of like making Russia great again, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yes.
so you've got to learn from history. You don't try to repeat it. You don't try to back up the world to the way it was, because it's evolved into something different. And I think he's beginning to find out that the evolution of what was is going to be something entirely different that may not include him at all.
Maybe Putin was inspired and make America great again.
I wouldn't doubt it. There are several meetings where everybody was kicked out of the room except Putin and Trump.
No, so,
Who knows what they were talking about?
bueno, lo que nos acaba de decir Michael es una clase de historia que desafortunadamente no voy a poder traducir porque no soy muy buena en la historia, pero simplemente nos habla que uno de los grupos más importantes en la historia de la Unión Soviética, lo que era la Unión Soviética, eran un grupo de guerreros que venían originalmente de lo que hoy es Ucrania y que, bueno, pues por eso están dando una batalla tan dura, ¿no? Pero efectivamente se trata de, de querer apoderarse de un territorio que pensó que fácilmente iba a poder conquistarlo simplemente porque quiere regresar a los tiempos pasados antes de que se desintegrara la Unión Soviética, que estaba construida por muchísimos, los que son ahora países independientes, pero pues ya no se puede dar reversa al reloj, y además es que hay que aprender de la historia para no cometer los mismos errores. Y nos cuestionábamos si habrá sido el expresidente Trump el que lo inspiró en eso de haz a América grande otra vez, ahora querer hacer a Rusia grande otra vez. So it's so interesting. And do you know, now we are seeing that, what do you think is going to happen with former President Trump? And did you see all the candidates that now are running in the
Right.
Republican side? Which one
Right.
do you like the most?
Well, I'm a Democrat, so it's not for me to say.
No, but do you know which one do you think is the most
Who,
interesting?
who would be the strongest contender? Hmm.
Do you like Chris Christie?
I was about to say he seems to be the most intelligent one in the group.
And not only because of that, but because he has the courage to talk about the issues that are important for this country. And also because, do you remember, he's Republican And when he had a problem in New Jersey, President Obama went and he worked so well and recognized President Obama.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
it doesn't matter the party.
He's capable of bipartisanship. I will give him that. And he has the background and the strength of having been the governor of New Jersey. So I mean, he's tried and true, and I think he would be a strong candidate personally.
But they were criticizing him that he didn't say anything during all this time, and he said it because I watch him on Sundays in a program in which he is criticizing always, no, but he didn't have the forum to
start to finish. He's been true to America with his criticisms of Trump along the way, and probably the most honest perspective that I've heard during the Trump administration.
The only one.
Yes. Yeah.
From the Republican side.
Right.
Bueno, estamos hablando de los candidatos a bueno, ya saben, en el 2024 vamos a tener una elección para presidente y ya hay varios candidatos del Partido Republicano que van a contender en contra del presidente Trump, ya que el presidente Trump tiene varios problemas legales que está a punto de confrontar. Entonces se animaron tantos candidatos por si las dudas, por si el presidente Trump no puede correr porque tenga consecuencias legales, pues entonces están saliendo todos. Y estamos hablando, ¿cuál es el favorito? Dice, no, yo no tengo favorito porque yo soy demócrata. Pero le digo, no, pero ¿cuál candidato ves con más posibilidades de que salga adelante? Y entonces los dos coincidimos que el exgobernador de New Jersey, Chris Christie, es el que más inteligente y el que más ha atacado directamente al expresidente Trump. Y dice, y le digo, y mucha gente lo critica que no dijo nada durante todo este tiempo, y le digo, y yo veo que sí dijo, porque siempre ha sido crítico en los programas de televisión que lo he visto, siempre ha sido crítico. I think that because he was candidate before with President Trump, and he tried to get something like any kind of position in the administration, because if he won the nomination, what do you do? No, well, I better make an alliance to be inside of the group. But because there was a conflict between him and the son-in-law, they didn't allow him to do anything. So, but also maybe he thought, well, it's going to be his term. He's doing so many bad things that in the next election we will be able to go in or something, no? But I don't criticize that he. I think that he criticized him enough when he saw that ex-President Trump didn't have a remedy, because every time that he was doing something is like his worst enemy, in my opinion. He always saying something affecting himself. So I never saw anybody like that. It's a.
Well, he's kind of like the emperor with no clothes. I mean, that's an old fable in America. But it's a story about an emperor and all of his supporters and followers, refused to acknowledge the fact that he was naked. He didn't have his clothes on, and he could come and go and do, and they just pretended that he was fully clothed. Well, that's kind of like Trump. I mean, he's been a raving lunatic ever since he was knee-high to a grasshopper, but he's a little rich kid. And he thought he could get away with everything, and he's tried to get away with everything. And when I say everything, some pretty dastardly things that he's been accused of. And he is challenged at every turn, everything, and says, his phone calls are perfect, his behavior is perfect. He does the right thing all the time, and he can do whatever he wants because he's the president. Well, no.
Many people argue a situation of removing him from power for mental health problems.
Should have done the 25th Amendment a long time ago.
Estamos hablando del expresidente Donald Trump y todas las cosas que hizo él y que desafortunadamente no hubo nadie del Partido Republicano que lo parara. Y yo pensaba, bueno, es que están dejando que corra su término, ya que acabe, pues ya se va y se acabó. Como pues ya se ganó esta posición y que Chris Christie al principio quiso correr, ya que perdió la nominación, pues trató de hacer una alianza con Donald Trump para ser parte del equipo, pero por conflictos que había con el yerno y el papá del yerno, no le dieron absolutamente nada y desde entonces él, pues cuando vio que las cosas estaban muy mal, empezó a criticar y ha criticado, pero obviamente no es el mismo foro que el de un candidato, ¿no? Salía en programas y hacía comentarios. Pero todos los otros candidatos no dijeron nada y él fue el único que dijo algo y estamos hablando de cómo él dice, Michael, que era como el emperador ese que estaba desnudo y que todo el mundo decía, hacía como si tenía ropa, ¿verdad? Lo ignoraban, como si de verdad estaba vestido y lo trataban como si estaba vestido, pero la verdad es que no tenía ropa. Y así hablamos de la condición de salud mental del expresidente, que vemos que es su propio enemigo porque hace declaraciones en contra de sí mismo y siempre ha tenido muchos problemas de ese tipo de pisarse los callos él mismo y decíamos que hubo un tiempo que incluso cuando él era presidente de que algunos dijeron de usar una enmienda de la Constitución para removerlo del poder por su condición de salud mental. Well, time is gone, Michael. What are you going to do today? Do you have any plans?
Oh yeah, I got to run to the bank real quick and cash a reimbursement check and
Oh,
get on home and
celebrate.
yeah, celebrate, yeah, and see what Jane and Naomi are going to do next. My granddaughter is spending the summer with us after finishing her first year
The
at
daughter?
college.
I know I met her, no, in the 5 de Mayo parade, or no?
Yes, that's my granddaughter.
Well, say hello to them,
I will
please.
do that.
Hasta la vista, babies. Thank you por estar con nosotros esta mañana. Nos vemos la próxima.
They say